Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and wow, it really didn't take long for there to be some form of cheat or greasy way to worm around the mechanics of this raid. So Destiny Bulletin has tweeted saying that the Desert Perpetual Epic Raid Race accusations surfaced against Bungie QA, quality assurance I want to say, tester who allegedly leaked raid mechanics with his team during the race. A recent profile update has fans speculating he may have been let go. That's really interesting because we haven't seen any reports of any hackers in this raid. I can guarantee now that there were, but I think that's mainly because Bungie just, decided not to release that information this time because of what happened the last time. But nevertheless, we're going to have a look at what the game post is saying and go from there. Man, they just cannot catch a break, can they? So if I just zoom in a little bit here. After Destiny 2's Desert Perpetual Epic Raid Race, accusations surfaced against a Bungie quality assurance tester, allegedly leaking mechanics. A recent profile update has fans speculating he may have been let go. Destiny 2's Desert Perpetual Epic Raid Race happened this past weekend, with the contest mode running for 48 hours. Also, by the way, I just want to quickly point out, when this was released, it really did not increase a dramatic spike in the player count. It almost didn't change. It's kind of sad, really. After over 9 hours, Bungie confirmed that Clan Elysium had officially claimed the world's first completion. But the following day, several players who took part in the raid race accused Bungie QA tester known as Online Bravo, there's a link there, of privately sharing Desert Perpetual mechanics with his own clan during the epic race, and shortly after the world's first completion. That's crazy. That's actually mad. So someone who works for Bungie, who obviously knows the mechanics of the raid, shares the mechanic information to his own team. Like, that is a breach. Like, Bungie already have a strict policy for non-Bungie staff, streamers using specific overlays, specifically streaming, making sure that this and that is switched on and off. Like, there are already specific guidelines to even just participating in the raid race. And we already know, just based on the past, that Bungie simply just do not allow Bungie staff to participate in the raid race, right? So, like, an actual employee leaking the mechanics to his own team is almost mind-blowing. Like, why would you do that? Going down here, they say that screenshots of Discord chats and in-game text began circulating, claiming Bravo had been coaching mid-contest. None of this has been officially confirmed by Bungie, but it's been a hot topic among the community in the last 3 days. Well, I guess if this Bravo person, whoever this person is, I obviously don't know who this person is, but if this Bravo person has updated their Twitter bio to say that they no longer work for Bungie, as in they previously said that they did and now it's just removed from the bio, then one would think that, you've been let go, right? As stated in the article. The game posts go on to say that the tester in question is known publicly as Bravo, Adam per his ex-profile. According to public posts earlier this year, he joined Bungie of March 2025 as a contract tester and stepped back from competing. Well, clearly not. Posts allege that he may have given his clan, Team Parabellum, who were also competing in the epic raid race, insight that others had to figure out the hard way. Alright, so we've got some tweets here. It says here, this is from Newell. I don't think it's a hot take to say this, but Bungie Rad playtesters should not be teaching teams raid mechanics on day one, especially when, 1, those raid mechanics are unsolved, and 2, not even 5 teams have cleared the raid. Have some shame. Gigs also says in a tweet here, I definitely think the rule should be no Bungie dev influence over until contest is over. I thought that was a rule, if I'm honest with you. I mean, Bungie specifically say, like I said, that no dev should participate in the raid race whatsoever. And it just, in my opinion, and logically thinking, participation doesn't necessarily mean playing the raid. It also means influencing some form of participation in some way that would influence the completion of a raid team. Like, that's just like, I don't know, to me that's just automatic logic thinking right there. I just think getting strategies from people who have been limit testing the raid for a long period of time kind of ruins the contest experience. Very true. And then we got Rosie here that goes on to say that this 1000 times, even if NDA is broken, is super shitty that certain teams get an advantage for a good placement. Even if it's not legally wrong, doesn't mean it's not morally wrong for a fair race. And this is in response to what Gig said above here. Alright, so the game posts go on to say that in a series of posts, he insisted that Bravo hadn't been in their voice chat until after Clan Elysium had already claimed Worlds First. Fide, sorry if I get that wrong, argued that Bravo only joined about an hour later, which would technically line up with the NDA rules that expire once the first clear is confirmed. But his own wording ended up raising some eyebrows. He admitted Bravo joined the voice chat after the clear, which many players pointed out was closer to 30 minutes, not an hour. What was meant to be a defense instead came across as an accidental confirmation that Bravo had been involved, even if not during the actual race window. Wow, so he got fucked over by his own mate that was part of the team that Bravo was actually trying to help. That's kind of mad. I was literally scouting for Parabellum, so I had access to all their channels and was in a voice chat throughout the entire race, and Bravo was not there until well after the race was finished. Therefore, he did not break any NDA as it only covers the race, Fide said. That's actually mental that this person typed that, because by them simply just saying that one tweet, thinking they're doing a justice to the situation, has just made it 10 times worse, and now Bravo has lost his job, allegedly. That's mental. I'm going to tweet this tweet to back my friend that was helping me in the raid race, and yet you just basically did an admission. That's mad. The quote goes on to say, he joined voice chat like an hour after Sortigrefo cleared, but the NDA expires the second the World's First is confirmed. So if playtesters want to go get second, third, fourth, fifth place, they can. Fast forward to yesterday, fans noticed that Bravo quietly removed QA at Bungie from his public profile on X, formerly Twitter. That small update was enough for many to believe that he had been let go by the studio in the wake of the accusations. What we do know is that Bravo was working as a contract journalist tester at Bungie. Contract roles in QA are usually short-term, and when the contract ends, there is no guarantee of renewal. Whether this was just the natural end of his deal or a decision tied to the controversy is unclear. It's fairly coincidental is what I'll say. Obviously, it's not factual. Adding fuel to the speculation, we found a LinkedIn profile under the same name that lists a journalist tester contract at Bungie from March to September 2025 that matches the same timeframe Bravo announced joining Bungie and the moment his public bio changed. While we can't confirm with absolute certainty it's the same person, the details line up. We're not publishing the full name for privacy reasons. That's very, very interesting. We've got some more tweets here. So this is from Puns. I don't know if Bravo actually got fired, but celebrating that is so dumb. Is he an idiot? Yes, but people can learn from mistakes. He gave the 1% another voice at Bungie, and having someone like that working on the game was insanely valuable, not something to be happy about in my opinion. Feel obligated to make a tweet about this. What said QA tester did was not cool. It was a really dumb decision and it ultimately cost him. However, from what I know, he genuinely made the DP raids as best as they could be in terms of difficulty tuning, so it will suck losing him. Calico says, I think they fired the newly hired Bungie QA tester who was apparently leaking rig mechanics to his friends afterwards first was finished, which is a crazy sentence and totally unsurprising in the current landscape. No longer has Bungie affiliations or QA in their bios. Yeah, that's kind of mad. Bungie has not commented on any of this, nor confirmed that the person left on schedule or was removed. What do you think? Should Bungie staff playtest? I mean, here's the thing, right? Bungie are never going to mention this, obviously, because it's bad publicity, and as much as people have the saying of bad publicity is good publicity, is not... I don't think that stands well at Bungie right now, because their publicity is just consistently negative, and yet again this is a negative thing that has Bungie involved, so ultimately it is not good. And with obviously everything being about their raid race, and the controversy that happened last time with their raid race with the amount of hackers there was, I can imagine they're just going to want to kind of leave this under the rug, because there's a lot of negativity that comes out when it comes to Bungie releasing brand new stuff. It just seems like whenever a new thing comes out, it's always tied to another new thing that doesn't seem to go in Bungie's favor. Anyway, so we've got Aiden here. This is Bravo's Twitter. It says partner Twitch streamer here. There's this link. That's a different language. Brilliant. But yeah, it doesn't have Bungie QA tester or anything like that in his bio here. And here's the thing. Look, we can't say as a matter of fact, is it a coincidence that it so happened to line up around this time at the same time that all of this came out? Sure, yes, it is a little bit of a coincidence. However, we cannot say as a matter of fact, and I think it's just going to be one of those things that we'll never know. which is fine. You know, it's not a big deal. Obviously, it is unfortunate that this situation happened, regardless of whether or not the contract coincidentally, you know, finished at the same time of all this coming out. Obviously, it's not a great situation, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Let's see what people are saying on the Destiny Bulletin Twitter. We're going to read some comments there now too. Alright, so if we scroll down here, we have got Crimson saying, knowing mechanics means nothing if you and your team cannot execute them. That's an interesting take. I don't think that's entirely true. Yes, the quality of your team on whether or not they can execute them is, you know, a valid point. There are plenty raids that people jump into that consistently wipe over and over, even knowing the mechanics. However, when you're in a competition and you're still competing before World's First gets officially confirmed, you know, you could get second place, you could get third place way before, you know, Bungie even confirmed who got first place. So having that edge over other teams does make it an unfair disadvantage, regardless the skill level of players. And, you know, Parabellum do have skilled players in their team, so the likely chance of them executing the mechanics is, you know, it's a fairly easy assumption to make when you say that they would probably be okay to execute the mechanics. They're literally professional players. But yeah, I don't think this is an entirely true statement here, simply because, one, we're talking about a pro team, and two, you know, like I said, they didn't initiate the World's First clear, and people could have still got second and third and all that sort of stuff. We've got this person that says, did anybody not cheat in this game? Very true. Beefy says, fake. Bungie QA testers don't exist. Oh my god. Okay. Moving on. Victoria says, in many companies it's stated that family members, friends, etc. are not allowed to participate in company-made competitions, and the fact that it was his clan and that was in the raid, he was there to help them is piss poor. What if they won? Then what if they won? It'd be a whole different situation. It really would. We've got Piggy here that says, not clarifying that this didn't affect the world's first race feels intentionally inflammatory. We'll just read a couple more here. Steven says, unfortunate because he helped make the epic raid version well epic for all players. Again, it is sad. This is why Salta Greppo won. I highly doubt that's why Salta Greppo won. The guy's got previously 4 raid belts. Obviously, now he's got his 5th raid belt. But, yeah, I mean, Salta Greppo has just got a consistent track record of just doing really well in these raid races. So, I don't think that's the reason why he won. But yeah, I don't know. We'll leave it there, guys. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are in the comment section below. Do you think that this actually had a dramatic influence on who came second, third, fourth, whatever it is in the raid race? Do you think that it's coincidental that conveniently he's no longer a QA tester at Bungie at the same time of this happening? Or do you think it's simply because the contract term ran out? Who knows? Maybe we'll never know, but nevertheless, I'd like to know what your thoughts and opinions are in the comment section below. Guys, before I close off this video, I got an Elgato today, and Pokemon Legends ZA comes out very soon. We are going to be streaming some Pokemon content on the channel. We've got Monster Hunter coming out next year. We've also got Lego Batman. We've still got Battlefield. So we're changing it up a little bit. There's going to be a whole heap of brand new content, not just Destiny coming in the works. So stay tuned for that. But guys, nevertheless, if you want to follow me on Twitter, the link to that is in the description. You can even join the Discord where you can have a conversation about other games if you want to. But yeah, ultimately, guys, like I say, I appreciate your time very, very much, and have a fantastic day wherever you are in this world. Guys, thank you so much, and take care.